Jesus. Try not to get worried. Sorry, that's a Jesus Christ Superstar reference. What was I going to say? Yeah, I was going to talk about. I had a New Year's resolution, guys. Spend less time on my phone in general. Less time. I know this is an obvious thing to say. People talk about this all the time. People spend too much time looking at screens. It's ridiculous. It's gone I'm just sick of it now. It's ridiculous. You know? If one more person does this action, you know this action? He's gonna look. I don't care. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is you're showing. I don't care how funny it is. I don't care anymore. I don't care how amazing it is. I don't care if you're about to show me a video of a man tying a knot in a log of shit. I don't care. My 4-year-old kid, he was on the iPad the other day. He wouldn't get off it, you know. He was just on it for hours, some stupid game. And obviously I had to pull it out of his hand. He's 4 years old, but I didn't want to do that because then he'd be crying and have to deal with all that crap, you know. And I'm a lazy parent, so what I decided to do instead was it's a real parent's trick, is I presented him with another idea of something to do that was just as exciting. And so what I did is I leaned in. Kids love secrets. I leaned in and I said, hey, it's your little brother's birthday next week. He's going to be 2. Me and you should go to the toy shop and buy him a present. Come on, let's go. I thought it was pretty cool, you know. And he looked back at me then with the exact same level of enthusiasm, you know? And he goes, no. I don't want to. You go. I'll stay here. I won't tell him from here. And I was like, okay, screw this. You're 4 years old. You're not the boss of me. Let's go. Let's get out of the house. Put that fucking thing down. We're going to the park. We're going to get some air. Come on, let's get out. You shut up, you idiot. He'll hear you. So I went to Ireland for Christmas, guys. I'm from Ireland originally. And I discovered something interesting that I didn't know before about Ireland. I discovered something new, which is interesting. I went home and I realised that despite outward appearances, Irish people actually aren't ugly. I know it seems that way sometimes, especially when you look at them and stuff, but they're not actually ugly. No, what you're seeing there, interesting, is the natural reaction that any human face would have to the Irish weather. Irish people aren't ugly, they're just pulling a face. Somewhere between confusion and fear. You know, they walk out of the house and they're like, no, Irish people aren't ugly. If you lived there, you'd look like that too. Although I did meet one guy in Ireland who's so unattractive that he needed to take Viagra to masturbate. That's not really connected to what we're talking about here. The Irish weather is phenomenal. It's in a very unusual position of being incredibly awful and also very, very boring at the same time, which is almost impossible to do if you think about it. You know, it's so much so that the Irish weather forecast is the most redundant. The Irish weatherman's job is the most redundant job in the world. It's the same every day. Anybody could do it. You don't need to know anything about meteorology to be able to do it. I could do it right now. Today's Friday or tomorrow. Okay, Saturday's weather is it's like now, but tomorrow. Thank you. So I grew up in Ireland, but the funny thing is I feel more like an outsider in Ireland than I do here. It's really weird. A lot of people can associate with this, I think. I really feel more like an outsider at home than I do here. It's just Irish people have a way of talking that I never quite mastered. It's really bizarre. They say the strangest things. They say things like, if you have a really attractive girlfriend, they'll say to you, they'll say, oh, you're a lucky man. You're a lucky man. And I'm like, what exactly do you mean by lucky? Wait, I didn't get her in a casino. She's not a racehorse. Well, if I follow that expression, oh, you're a lucky man, if you follow that through to the end, its logical conclusion, it basically goes something like this. Oh, you're a lucky man. It's just luck, really, that you have her. And I don't. As soon as someone says that, you're a lucky man, they sound 75% more like a pirate. You know? Oh, you're a lucky man, isn't he, boys? Lock the door, boys. His luck's about to change. You may laugh, but there's an actual expression in Ireland, with the last generation especially, an actual expression when an older person sees your girlfriend, he goes, oh, she's a good-looking girl. Just don't leave her alone with me tonight. Why? Are you going to rape her? I don't understand. It's like, oh, sorry, you winked. Sorry, you were joking. Okay. Oh, sorry, you were just joking that you were going to rape. Oh, that's really funny. That's really funny. That's not nearly the same thing at all. But yeah, so and then there's the phenomenon of the small talk in the street. Every country in the world has this, so you'll all be able to relate to this. Small talk, people, local people meeting in the street, the stuff they talk about. Incredible enthusiasm for incredibly boring things. You know, it's like Shakespeare in the supermarket, basically. You know, I was home in Ireland this Christmas, I saw two neighbours on the street stopping each other, and they're interchanging with something like this. It was like, oh, good morning, Mrs. Murphy. Mrs. Murphy, can you believe it's Christmas already? Can you believe it? Can you believe how quickly the time has passed this year? Can you believe it, Mrs. Murphy? Can you believe it? Miss Murphy, can you believe it? It was only yesterday, we were in the middle of the summer. I turned around this morning, it was December 24. Can you believe it, Mrs. Murphy? Can you believe it? It's Christmas all belated. Can you believe it? How quickly the time has gone? I was like, Jesus Christ. But I observed it for a while, and I thought, okay, that's a bit weird, but it's not rocket science, you know? I've learned Spanish, for Christ's sake. I can do that. So I went home that night, and I treated it like a foreign language. I learned, I put on an act, I went in front of the mirror, I got everything down. Next day I was walking to the shops. I saw a neighbour, old friend of the family's, Mrs. Roach. I said, perfect. I walked over to her like that, casual, real casual. I said, good morning, Mrs. Roach. There was something I wanted to tell you. Now you see, straight away that's a bad start, right? You don't announce small talk. Anyway, yeah. I said, Mrs. Roach, I was just thinking to myself this morning that it feels like exactly the right amount of time has passed this year for it now to be Christmas. And I got total silence. Mrs. Roach just looked at me like this. So I walked off, and I went home that night. I was like, I did that was wrong. I could feel it was wrong. It needs to be more natural. It needs to be more natural. It didn't sound right. Even to me, it didn't sound right. So I practiced doubly hard. I didn't give up. I practiced twice as hard. Next morning, I was walking to the shops again, past another neighbour, Mrs. Walsh. Perfect, I said. Another old lady, friend of the family. I walked up to her. Everything was perfect. I knew I was going to nail it this time. I got right up to her. Just as I got to her, Mrs. Walsh blindsided me. She turned around and pulled something out I wasn't expecting at all. She turned around, just as I was about to give my thing, she turned around and she goes, good morning, Noel. She goes, can you believe the rain we're having today? Can you believe that rain? Can you believe it? It's incredible, isn't it? Can you believe that rain, Noel? Can you believe that rain? It's unbelievable. Can you believe that rain? And I panicked. I hadn't prepared that one. I didn't know. I didn't know if I believed the rain. I don't even know if I understood the question. But I needed to say something, so as I was walking off, I said, no. And I got to the shop, so I was like, you idiot! Jesus Christ! I went into my phone, I was like, help! Jesus Christ! Writing into Google, what do you believe the rain? I was like, fucking... I calmed myself down, I collected myself, I looked properly, I went back 15 minutes later, I walked back, Mrs. Walsh was still standing there, and I was going to save this one. I walked up to her and I said, Mrs. Walsh. She turned around and I said, Mrs. Walsh. I said, Mrs. Walsh, I was thinking again about what you said before about the rain. And I need to tell you, Miss Walsh, that I had a quick scan on my phone for the historical weather chart for this region going back 50 years. And although nobody could argue, Mrs. Walsh, that it isn't a very heavy rain we're having today, I feel like I should tell you, Mrs. Walsh, that it isn't untypical for this region at this time of the year. And so, Mrs. Walsh, although I couldn't say with 100% certainty, if you needed an answer right now, I would be forced to say, Mrs. Walsh, that yes, in fact, I can believe the rain. You have a good day, Mrs. Walsh. Thank you guys for my time.